I need y'all to get your water, get your popcorn, get your soda, whatever. Support the brother over here, man. It's crazy, bro. Let's check it out. Subscribe. All right, man. We got What is a Man? Rules of modern dating and understanding women. It's complicated. Let's get it.
Do you think a man is less of a man if he can't change a flat tire?
I do think so. Me and my roommates talk about it all the time, and that's one of the qualities we look for in a man, just to know that we can be safe and protected with them.
Is a woman less of a woman if she can't cook a meal for?
No, that ain't nothing a quick YouTube video can't fix, man. I didn't learn how to change a tire till I was 16, and then I didn't have to change a tire till like years later, so I kind of forgot. So I kind of Googled it real quick. Oh, I said, okay, I got it. It's easy, and then I just did it.
Scratch.
No.
Why is there a difference?
Yeah, what the fuck? Why is it different?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Because I don't know how to cook a meal from scratch.
Oh, okay. It makes sense. Makes sense. You can't cook ass.
What if a man doesn't know how to change a tire?
Well, I guess it's okay, but if a man wants a woman who can cook, then they shouldn't date me.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
You damn right. Because they going to be hungry. That man going to be starving dating her.
What is a woman?
What is a woman? I think it's someone that is born female.
Someone who was born with female parts.
To me, a woman is somebody that is beautiful inside and out, empowered, and inspires positive change in the world around her.
But a man can do that too. What the fuck? Why they tiptoeing around the question, man? A woman, like what? A woman is an adult female, man. Like it's a woman, it's a female. If you're born female at birth, female reproductive organs, and it's an adult. Got me stuttering and shit over here, man.
If a woman is an adult human female, why wouldn't an adult human male be the definition of a man?
Who says it's not a definition of a man?
That is the definition of a man, right? Like,
what is the difference between a male and a man?
a male is someone who was born with male parts.
Male is male is male is male. But to me, a man is somebody that is a protector, a provider, and makes you want to be that feminine woman for them.
A man,
I never get the concept of wanting to be feminine. Shouldn't you already be feminine? You just describe a woman to be feminine. So you should already be feminine. No one has to make you be feminine. Imagine if like I'm with a girl and I'm saying, oh, I'm not going to be masculine until I meet the right girl. I'm going to sound like a dumbass.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
really someone who's like a developed masculine man who is like born and like developed and grown in society like as a man.
Well, why are there more burdens placed on a man to begin with?
Because that's how God designed us.
I come from a religious standpoint on it, so I think that girls are more emotional, right? So our role is to nurture and be there, while men are supposed to be the providers and work.
He ain't lying.
I think that depends on who you talk to, because you could say that there's burdens placed on women also.
What does masculinity look like if you're not religious, traditional, or conservative?
I feel that, like if you're chivalrous.
Wait a minute.
If you
That's traditional.
are a problem solver, for me as a woman, sometimes if I get overwhelmed, I just want my man to take over and be like, oh, thank God you helped me. Or if I feel like a man is someone that can help me figure out problems or help me through my day if, I'm ever feeling that I get stuck. So just someone that can help me a little bit.
Why are men defined by their role while women are defined by their existence?
I think women are also defined by their role. It depends on who you ask. There's a lot of societal pressure, especially now in the day and age of social media. I myself often find comparing myself to others on social media. So I think it goes both ways. It just depends on who you ask.
Women introduce themselves to me. They'll say hi and we'll talk about it. And then it's like, oh, are you a mom? Or what do you do for your...
Well, she paler than my glasses.
Stop it. Get some help.
She might be a little bit.
job. And so it's like, what is your role? Not just merely existing. So I think we get a lot of that too.
Do you think that men get joy and gratitude out of serving women even if women don't reciprocate?
Oh, I think it depends on the reason that they're doing it.
A lot of men that I meet in my life, and maybe it's like a demographic.
I think anybody that does something for someone and never gets anything in return is gonna feel some type of way eventually. Because if you're putting all this effort in a relationship and your partner's not doing anything back, you're not getting anything back, you're eventually going to get fed up and you're going to leave. It's just human nature, man.
It's facts. It's facts. It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
Thing, but I think men get satisfaction by like serving a woman and like leading a woman, and it just really depends on how they're raised though.
Isn't that the
Yeah, but let the woman start but
2,000 years later.
let the woman not have sex with them. Let's see how far or how long they're going to keep serving, man.
definition of a simp?
Yep, that is the definition
You're
of a
right.
simp.
I mean, the definition of a simp is like really like serving, like bowing down to your wife. But I think like masculinity, it goes both ways. However, like it still goes both ways. Like women can still serve men as well. But I think like a masculine man is comfortable in his own skin to lead a woman.
Isn't that the definition of a simp?
Maybe, but we like simps.
Well, I don't know what a simp is.
Would men still serve women if they knew they would never get that reciprocation?
Would they steal or should they steal?
What do you think?
Well, they should steal.
I hope so. I think
Did she say steal or still? They should steal?
so.
Do you believe it's a man's duty to respect a woman regardless of how she treats him in return?
Yes, I think that's right.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Bro, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, bro. Does she just want a man that can just accept all her bullshit? I think that's what she wants.
I do.
Well, I mean, unless you're beating his ass, then probably not. But
Like it's like they're describing that they want doormats, but they wouldn't actually date a doormat.
if you just drink a little too much and get a little crazy, there's no reason he should be mad at you because you're just having fun. And he needs to get a better personality.
Would men still serve women if they knew they would never get that reciprocation?
No.
Do you believe it's a man's duty to respect a woman regardless of how she treats him in return?
No.
No, I wouldn't do that based on gender.
I like this one.
I think that
Yeah, that's not a gender based thing. If someone's not respecting you, don't give them respect. Respect is earned, man.
respect is earned regardless of your gender.
How can a man respect women without losing self-respect in the process?
I don't think you lose respect by respecting women. I think a man that respects a woman is more respectable.
What is the difference between a show horse?
Yeah, like it's cool to respect women until they do something that makes you take that respect away.
Get back in the kitchen.
That goes for anybody.
And a plow horse?
Well, a show horse is like me.
Show horse can be a performance horse. Plow horse is like a working ranch farm horse.
Why does being physically stronger assign men the role of a plow horse while women are show horses on display?
Women are supposed to be praised and beautiful, and men are supposed to bring home the money.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
A show horse is designed to be beautiful and pretty. A plow horse is a stockier build. That's where you're going to run into your drafts. They're comfortable, they're fun, they're cool little gentle giants, but at the end of the day, their job is to pull and push heavy objects, so they're going to have a bigger frame.
Why does being physically stronger assign men the role of a plow horse while women are show horses on display?
I don't think that women are show horses on display.
You sure about that?
I do like the idea of a man being a plow horse. I think that's quite funny. But women can be strong too. As a matter of fact, I lift 3 days a week at least, and it comes in handy working on a ranch. You have to be able to do things yourself as well, and I don't think it makes a man a workhorse, but I've seen some pretty guys too, so men can be show horses too, I suppose.
Does society shame men more for being strong and masculine, or does it shame men more for being...
Like, is she really tall or is he really short? Because what's up with that camera angle? Like, I'm seeing a lot more of her nose than I need to. Like, it's like I could see her brain, bro. I could be, you know what I'm saying? I could peep up in there.
It shames men more for being weak.
Definitely weak.
Weak.
Why do you feel that way?
I think we prefer stronger men. I don't know.
Exactly, but you want him to be a doormat? You see the contradictions.
People think that if you're not this macho alpha male, that means you want to put on a dress and wear makeup.
I personally don't think that. I think other people might think that because there's this air of like toughness that represents toughness and that you somehow have to be more resilient that way.
society really, really pushes men to be extremely macho. And that's not necessarily, it can also be like in a toxic way.
Some of the ones I know are very scrawny, short guys that don't look very hyper masculine. Some of them are very pretty too, some of them aren't. But to me, they're hyper masculine in the sense that they are the provider. They care about their woman, and their wives are absolutely gorgeous. So you can still get a beautiful woman as long as you're that man.
Like a man should still pursue and lead and like provide for a woman emotionally, not just financially, emotionally. And that's when a man is safe and secure in his own skin. However, I don't necessarily think like society thinks that if they're not necessarily there yet, they need to put on a dress and they're like a little B word.
Can someone be masculine but not a man, or be a man but not masculine?
Depending on your definition of masculinity, yes.
Yep.
So why is masculinity even applied to men in the first place?
I think gender constructs and what makes us comfortable as a society, not that it makes it right.
I think there's different levels of how masculine a man can be, but
Yep.
that doesn't not make him a man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why is there so much...
I mean, both genders have a mixture of both energies, man. A woman has masculine and feminine energy. A man has masculine and feminine energy. It's just that typically men have more masculine and less feminine. Women have more feminine and less masculine. But sometimes a woman can be more masculine and sometimes a man can be more feminine. But it's still a woman, it's still a man. You know what I'm saying?
Confusion about what a woman is, but everyone seems to know what a real man is.
Because you're asking the women about who a real man is?
Again, I think like cultural constructs of men needing to provide or needing to be in the position of provision.
When you ask a woman what she wants in a man, she's going to define that traditional role, I believe, most of the time.
Yep.
Do we want the show horse or do we want the plow horse? I mean, there's, of course, at least a little bit of truth in the fact that we do kind of want a show horse, too. There's nothing that breaks my heart more than seeing a beautiful woman, and I've seen it here at the NFR, beautiful woman walking around, dressed to the nines, makeup, hair done, on point. And then her man's walking around in gym clothes. So when you ask a woman what she defines as a man, you're going to get a little bit more of an accurate representation versus if you ask anybody else about what defines a woman, you're going to get 1,000,001 questions and answers all in the same statement.
Why can a woman be whatever she wants, but a man is clearly defined?
I would argue that it also is that way for women because a lot of times it's you have to either be a mother or in the workforce, that you're not allowed to have crossover.
What constitutes a weak man versus a strong man?
Lots of crossover. Are you saying you can't be a mother and be in the workforce? What are you trying to say?
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
I think a strong man is someone who can show up confidently as himself and answers to himself. And a weak man is someone who feels like they have to put other people down or treat people poorly to compensate for their own issues.
Why don't we have those same stipulations for women? Does a woman
Yeah, that could be applied to women.
be a feminist or masculine to be considered strong?
No, I don't think that they do.
It could be mentally strong or physically strong. Even myself, I like to get pretty and dress.
Yeah, she pretty.
She is very gorgeous to me.
But I also like to go rope and go weld and do masculine things. That doesn't make me more masculine than other girls, or even when I get dressed up more feminine than other girls. That's just who I am, and I think people need to be true to who they are and stick to it, and just, like I said, treat people the way you'd want to be treated.
Why don't women shame each other for being weak the same way that men shame each other for being weak?
I think women shame each other for being weak. They just do it in a more backhanded, mean way.
Friendly fire!
I mean, I think if you just go on social media, how girls compare themselves to each other and tear each other down, I think it's pretty equal, yeah.
Is it when we talk about women's issues, it's considered the war on women, but when we talk about men's issues, it's considered the war on masculinity?
Because I would argue maybe the men that are struggling with that war the most are having a hard time defining their own masculinity for themselves.
Maybe it's just a social media thing, but guys are getting away from their traditional roles, back even with my father and seeing...
Yeah, because women are getting away from the traditional roles. If women were to get back to the traditional role, the men will get back too.
And that's a fact.
As growing up, he always made sure that my mom knew that if she wanted to work, she could work. If she wanted to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom, which she would.
A woman thinks the traditional role is like misogyny. You know what I'm saying? They call that shit misogyny. If you say like, oh, I want a woman that be in the kitchen that can know how to cook, she's like, how dare you? You want me to be in the kitchen? Wow, you sexist. Shit crazy.
She had that opportunity presented to her as well. Now, with the economy doing what it's doing, it's very hard to see a man that can step into that role completely and provide for not just himself and the household, but also a partner and children.
Why don't we consider it a war on men any more than we consider it a war on femininity?
I don't know. That's a good question.
What does masculinity look like if you're not religious, conservative, or traditional?
I think it's showing up as yourself confidently and not waiting for society to tell you who to be or how to treat women or how to love yourself exactly as you were made.
What's the difference between a feminist defining a real man versus the masculinity movement defining a real man?
A feminist defining a real man, I don't think either are okay.
Well, what gives either one the right to define manhood?
I don't think either have the right to define manhood.
Why don't we allow men to be defined in their own right?
I think men should be defining themselves. And I think even like subconsciously adhering to gender constructs or what society thinks or tells them what masculinity is, that's undoing to themselves.
When it comes to relationships, men are expected to protect and provide. If men should protect because they're physically stronger, why shouldn't the woman pay the bills? Why shouldn't the man be assigned both duties when women are capable of at least being a provider?
Well, because we have to take care of those damn kids. And then we have to wash those clothes, and then we have to cook those dinners, and then we have to wash all those dirty.
Yeah, if she's doing all that, then yeah, you should pay the bills and, you know, protect and provide.
Thing. And we're tired of it.
Okay, so I think that if you're both working, because I work and my boyfriend works, and I think that could be 50-50, and I'm okay with that. But let's say we have babies and I want to be a stay-at-home wife, then he'll take on that role and I'll nurture, I'll take care of the house, I'll make sure there's meals when he comes home from work.
You smart. That's reasonable. I could get behind that.
If men are expected to risk their lives, why can't women risk their paychecks?
Because we don't make as much as them sometimes, and even if we do, our money is our money, and their money is our money.
You know, a lot of my female friends or a lot of females I met actually making a lot more than my male homies, man. Like a lot of these girls, they be making money, bro.
Doing both, and I think like in a relationship, it should be what's harmonious for your family or works best for your family, and not because of what culture's dictating.
Do you believe that men are natural protectors, or is that learned behavior?
I think it's natural instinct.
It's something that you're taught growing up. I feel like if, like old school values, for example, like men were always taught that you should walk on the outside of the sidewalk, you should open the door, and I feel like
I think anybody will protect something that's dear to them. You know what I'm saying? Women will protect their child, men will protect their child or their woman or their family member or whatever. Like, it's just having something you love, you naturally want to protect that love. So I think it's inherent for everyone to want to protect something that's close to them.
men that were taught that when they're younger are now better protectors than men that weren't.
I think it's learned behavior, and it's also like, what do you feel you need to be protected from, or what you need to be protecting?
How can men be natural protectors if men are the very thing that women need
Hey, I love you too, man.
protection from?
You don't need protection from all men, just some.
I don't know that I would personally like look to a man to be protecting me. I'd want to learn to protect myself first.
But wouldn't that mean that like men are more likely to be protectors than be predators?
Well, there's a lot of different. This world is a dark place and has become a very dark place. There's a lot of good men out there and there's a lot of good women out there, but you need protection from both.
I think it's learned behavior. A lot.
She said there's a lot of good women and a lot of good men, but you need protection from both. I think she meant to say there's a lot of bad people.
Men that I've dated or run into, the ones that grow up in households without a positive male influence, whether it be the uncle, the dad, older brother, or even a neighbor or friend, when they don't have that positive male influence in their household growing up, I've seen them, I call it female behavior, which is awful, but guys tend to act more like women when they're surrounded by women. And I think
Become more emotional, more unstable. I was raised by a lot of women, man. You know, mom, her sisters, so my aunts and shit. I had to learn how to be that fully masculine figure, man. I had to relearn that shit because my dad wasn't really like in my life when I was young. Like I would talk to him on the phone. He would be in a different state, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like there. So I had to relearn everything or learn everything. Cause like your mom can't teach you how to be a man.
learn behavior with those traditional roles. The guys that are often the ones that go oh no, we're going 50-50. Or I expect you to provide for the household while also cooking and cleaning and being my partner. Those are the ones that oftentimes grow up with a single mom. And it breaks my heart that they don't have that positive male influence to look up to.
Yeah, like women, they want strong men, bro. They want a man that knows how to lead. But they want a man that knows how to lead, but is also not too toxic. They want a balance. So you have to be a good leader, and she will follow for sure, man. Cause I be around these girls, bro. They act like when I'm talking to a girl, walking, leading a girl, she acts like she doesn't have a brain. She just follows my lead, bro. They don't want to think. They just want to follow whatever you got going on, man. They want you to plan everything, and they just there for the ride. That's how all women want to operate.
And lastly, if conservatives hold freedom in the highest regard, why do men have a duty attached to them in the first place?
Because I don't think they realize that it's even attached to them. I don't think it's a conscious awareness.
Do you think that things would change if they were aware of that?
Yeah, and I think if they started to look inward and were empowered culturally to look inward and to define themselves and define their own masculinity, that the world would be a better place for it.
That was a good video. Like this man, he always has some good line of questioning, man. It makes you think deeper.
Why are you gay?
You talking my language, I can't help but